Hey guys, it's Katsu back after a while. I don't know why I dropped off after so long. I I did drop off after a while, but I don't know. I don't remember how it started. I just remember I dropped and then I didn't come back. And I think that's it's been good for me in life, but it's removed my passion for anime because I've been a lot less passionate about anime since I've, quit the channel. So I decided it's time for me to come back. So here I am with What If Naruto Had the Ten Tails. So the way this is going to work is um the way this is gonna work is Toby is going to capture, or Obito, Toby, Mater, or whatever you want to call him, is going to capture the 50% of all the tailed beasts because he saves up the rest, and just being him. And so he saves up half of it, and he uses half to create the 10 tails. And he tries infusing with it, but it fails at first. And um, he's defeated by Minato when he goes to attack the village. So he, Minato decides that he has to seal the Nine Tails within his son, and so he does. Um, this immediately causes Naruto's features to change, including skin, hair, all that, and he, changes, and they notice this immediately. And at this point, they're dying because it took both of their chakras just to seal it in Naruto, because they had to create a stronger seal so it would hold the ten tails and it wouldn't immediately break. So they have less time to talk to Naruto and all this. So uh, they, get the important shit like blah blah blah. What uh, Kushina typically says. Uh, be healthy, eat healthy, make good, a lot of friends, all that, and they die. Hiruzen then sees Naruto and absolutely despises him. No one likes him. So now we skip to when he is 6. He's on the street when suddenly a man who was robbing a nearby store comes up and tries to take Naruto hostage because the man is currently running from Uchiha police, and uh yeah, he's currently running from Uchiha police, so he takes Naruto hostage. But when they see it is Naruto that was taken hostage, they don't even hesitate. They just launch a fireball instantly, and they don't care if Naruto dies or not. Um, So when Naruto is hit with the fireball, he is sent flying, and he's impaled on a metal pipe uh that got revealed by the fireball exploding part of a wall. And Naruto gets impaled on this. It goes straight through his chest, and you know the Uchiha police just leave him there to die. No one even bats an eye. No one cares. None of that. But eventually Naruto wakes up and he's in uh green. He's surrounded by a green liquid that's in like a large glass little tube. So he tries and struggles for a few minutes to break out, but after a while he's successful, but it takes him 20 minutes. And he notices after a while, like, hey, I can't drown in here, but he still wants to get out because, no one wants to be trapped in a test tube pretty much. Just, there. So he eventually breaks his way out and uh, breaks his way out. Then he sees after a few minutes Orochimaru just walk in the room, look at Naruto, and he's like, "Oh, so the I forget the name of the Ten Tails, and this isn't scripted, by the way, just letting y'all know. Uh, so the Jinchuriki is awake, eh?" As he goes up to Naruto, and he already heard the glass shatter and figured it was Naruto, so he's like, "Yep, grab some clothes," because Naruto was not clothed in the test tube. So he gets clothes and all that, and then he Orochimaru starts showing him around his little base hideout area. Naruto's like, "Hey, where will I be sleeping?" And Orochimaru's like, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot." As he shows Naruto, uh, he walks Naruto through a training arena, and he's like, "What's this room?" And he's like, "Oh, this is where physical training will go down." He then walks up to a door that is in the far back corner. It's like, okay, it opens up to a decent sized room with a bed, a nightstand, a few other things in it. And Naruto's like, "Oh, so this is where I'll be sleeping." Okay. He, of course, after this goes and, just simply relaxes on his bed. And Orochimaru, after a few minutes, comes in like, "Oh, also, I forgot to say, you might want to start practicing um, meditation and all that. It'll help you." And after that, he leaves and whatnot. So Naruto, he tries to enter his mindscape, but as soon as he does, he hears a terrible scream that sends shivers up his spine. And hearing this causes him to panic and immediately lose focus, kicking him out of his mindscape. When he realizes that he can't do that yet, he goes to Orochimaru and says, "Hey, would you mind actually doing some physical training? My mind, it's all fucked up. So would you, help me with this?" So, um, hmm, hmm. Orochimaru's like, "Fine, physical training, because I'm not gonna help you with meditation right now." Blah blah. Blah. He's like, "Okay, cool." Yeah, so they go do physical training, and Naruto trains physically, mentally, and all that meditation shit. He does that for a few years, until he's 13, and they go on a mission to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village, and Naruto's like, "Finally, I get to get my revenge for all the people who've wronged me in the Hidden Leaf." As he, just goes in there with Orochimaru. The two of them, together, start battling Hizus and start for yawning. It's pretty much they go to the Hidden Leaf and battle Hizus, and Naruto realizes, like, what? Fuck Orochimaru. He was using me just to progress himself and didn't give a fuck about me, so fuck him. And, together, him and Hiruzen take down Orochimaru, properly sealing him with the Reaper Death Seal, you know. So, Hiruzen's still dead, but Naruto's all good. And then he's like, before Hiruzen dies, he talks to Naruto like, "Hey, yeah, you can live in the village." And the elders show up, like, "Hey, blah blah blah." Hiruzen gives them orders, like, to yeah, Hiruzen gives them orders to allow Naruto back into the village and all this and that, and give him this house, which is the fourth Hokage estate. And Hiruzen reveals to Naruto who his father is, this and that. And Naruto, he gets a little bit emotional, but he goes to plain face, no emotion at all, just straight, just nothing. So he's like, he also gets a something Hiruzen had in his pocket at that time, like, hey, here, go use this. It's a free 5 bowls of ramen for Ichirake ramen. And Naruto's like, oh, cool, yeah. And then he goes, he's making his way towards Ichirakaram, and when he sees some Kumo shinobi carrying what looks like a human-sized bag, so he gets suspicious. He sees like movement within the bag, like someone's trying to get out. Like, I'm gonna go stop them. He rolls up on him, gives him a 1-2 combo, fucks him up. And he opens up the bag to find Hinata, and he remembers Hinata. He's like, isn't this the girl I saved and blah blah blah? She's from those bullies, protect her from those bullies, not really saved because yeah. Anyways, you know, uh, he she's like she sees Naruto. She's like, oh blah, 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 blah. She's happy to see Naruto because she protected or he protected her from bullies in the past, and you know, just in general helped her in the past. So, she just um is there, and he remembers that Hinata always followed him and, kind of stalked him after that one incident where she was being bullied and he protected her. He realized that she always kind of stalked him, and he's like, oh, she probably actually cared about me. And, he can sense that he can kind of sense because he's been getting the ability to sense emotions kind of. It started to show he's noticed it, but it doesn't. It's not that strong, so it's kind of quiet when he senses an emotion. It's like a whisper. That's the best way I can explain it. It's hard to explain, but yeah. So he can sense that she kind of cares for him, and he's like, "Hey, she might be one of the few people in the village that cares for me." And so he I don't know, just grabs her, wraps her up in a hug, and she they just eventually just sit down, and she lays her head in his lap, and after 5 minutes, just falls asleep. And uh, a little bit later, Neji shows up, sees Hinata resting her head in Naruto's lap, and out of nowhere, just boom, boom, his palm strikes um Naruto in the back, but Naruto just doesn't budge. He just sits there and takes it because Hinata's asleep, and he's like, "Man, just let her sleep. I'll fucking take this." But she woke up earlier, and she was just laying there pretending to be asleep. Um, but when Neji hits Naruto, she immediately gets up and blocks a couple more strikes he tries to hit Naruto with. Uh, and so, she blocks those. She says, stop, he saved me, blah, blah, blah. You know, and Naruto is like, she's not as shy as I remember. Because he does remember her. And, you know, he goes and Neji tries to, he ignores Hinata and tries to kill Naruto again. Or no, this time he tries to hit Hinata with like a lethal blow. Well, near, well, how could I say this? Not lethal, but like a serious, like, would fuck her up, She wouldn't be able to be a shinobi anymore. But Naruto, he blocks us. He's like, oh, so that's how you want to play this. He picks Neji up by the throat and is choking him until he chokes him. And also a fun fact, because I thought of that, the first person to ever choke slam one in recorded history was Abraham Lincoln. Anywho, Naruto kicks Neji in the fucking melon one time just to make sure he's out, like, yeah, fuck you, boom, punches his head. Uh, And so Neji's beat the fuck, and Hinata was saved by Naruto twice in an hour or so. And they go to Naruto's house, and they just have fun. They have fun. And you know what I mean by fun because it's been on my channel for a while. Anyways, uh um the next day they go out to the village, and Naruto's getting glares and people are throwing shit at him. Like, nothing like rocks or anything, just fruits and shit. Uh, until one person finally is like, fuck you. And they throw a rock at Naruto. And before this can hit him in the back of the head, Hinata immediately catches it, looks at the person, gives him a death stare, and then she throws the rock right back at him. And it hits him square in the eye, square between the eyes. And Naruto again is kind of shocked because Hinata's not shy right now. And you know, and they go, mm, they get fed up of the people in the village, and they go back to Naruto's house. And Naruto's like, fuck this. And, he brings up, he's like, fuck this. And he brings up to Hinata, like, hey, why don't we leave the village? I already know a good place we can travel the world and all this. And she's like, okay, but what about my family? They're going to be pissed at me. They might try to kill me. He's like, fuck them. You've seen what I did to Neji with the fucking instant. Imagine what I can do in a battle. When I'm probably warmed up and I'm using my full force trying to kill them. And, she's like, yeah, true. So she agrees, and then they pack up their shit and they start making their way out of the village. But when they get to the village, Danzo and a group of Anbu are there. Four Anbu. Yeah, four Anbu and Danzo. So five people are all there. And Naruto's like, just move, Danzo. I already know what you've done in the village. All those secret experiments, deals with Orochimaru. Fucking Tree Man. I know about him. You can't fool me there. So you might as well just move out of my way. And Don's like, I cannot let you leave the village, yeah, blah 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 blah, being annoying. And Naruto's like, okay, I gave you a warning, I gave you a chance, but you did not take it. And so, he socks Donzo in the fucking face, just boom. And Donzo gets disoriented, and Naruto picks up Hinata bridal style and just zooms out of the village, full speed. Um, and this shocks Hinata, and the four on bar like they look at Danzo, he yells, "Go after them!" Like a villain, and they go after Naruto and Hinata. But along the way, because Naruto's fast as fuck, he found the time to set up traps because it's Naruto. So he has traps set up and they start falling into them one by one. And the last person Naruto personally decides to fucking kill. He takes, he posts up behind a tree just waiting. And when he senses that they're right there, he close lines them, just boom, arm out, just stiff, and they run right into it with their throat. This collapses their windpipe, and they start suffocating to death. But Naruto, being Naruto, he's like, nah, that's probably not how you're gonna die. And he pulls out a kunai, and slits their throat. He's like, I don't know if you're gonna suffocate or you're gonna bleed out, but one of the two is gonna happen. And that guy dies, and Naruto and Hinata make their way out of LA village, and they for 9 months or so, 9-10 months, they explore, you know, the lands of like they explore the shinobi world. But they're like he not has a child, gives birth to Boruto, and they're like, oh no, this is when fucked up earlier. I said when they were 13 they went back. No, this is when they're 16. I remember the script I wrote in my free time at school. Sorry. So they're 16, not no. I was wrong there. I said it wrong. Fucked it up. My bad. Anyways, they go and they reach area where no one lives. There's middle of nowhere. No villages, nothing for thousands of miles. They in the middle of the woods, a jungle. They just settle down, build a house, and they live there for 5 years in complete peace. No one's bothering them. They ain't bothering no one. But one day, Naruto, he goes outside to relaxing in the front yard. He has a little bit of tea, and he sees someone he recognizes from his time he spent with Orochimaru. It's Itachi Uchiha. And Naruto, seeing that it's Itachi, he's like, what is he doing here? And how the fuck did he get this far out? Because remember, he's thousands of miles from any villages. So yeah, Itachi shows up and he's like, he can't see because he's blind. He's been stabbed through the chest. He's blind, stabbed through the chest. There's cuts all over him, bruises, scrapes. Broken bones. His forearm, the bone is sticking out. His left arm, his left forearm, sticking out of the bone. And Naruto sees him, and right as Naruto sees him, Itachi collapses, and Naruto immediately rushes over to Itachi, picks him up, brings him inside, and a few days later, Itachi wakes up, bandaged, and all that stuff, and he's like, and he realizes he can see. This is because Naruto was gifted Sasuke's eyes, who you know Orochimaru killed. He killed Sasuke because he said "fuck you," and killed him. Uh, so you know he he gave Itachi Sasuke's eyes, so he has the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and he can see. He can see. So he goes and he realizes, wait, the only reason I'd be able to see is if, and then he realizes Sasuke is most likely dead, and he starts tearing up a little bit, but then Naruto walks in and he's like, "Oh, Itachi, you're finally awake. Good, 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 good." And so, would you mind explaining how the fuck you got way out here? Two, why the fuck were you making your way out here? And three, what the fuck happened to you? Because you're very powerful and you will beat the hell. And Itachi's over here like, yeah, I kind of fought pain and got my ass kicked, and you know, he just shuts up after that. But he's like, yeah, what happened? Like, how did you end up way out here? Like, he's like, yeah, I ran away from belief because uh they were fucking with me too much, and and now I have a wife and a child, and they're just like, oh, you're doing good for yourself. Good. I'm proud of you. And he talks to Naruto like Naruto's his little brother, because it kind of is in a way, like, because he kind of helped raise Naruto for a time, because he cared for Naruto like he would care for Sasuke. Except he could care for Naruto like he did Sasuke, because uh you know Naruto and plot armor, because fuck logic. So, Naruto's over here, explaining what's been going on with him to Itachi, and Itachi mentions like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a huge ass fucking war going on, and the leader of you know how there's that one dude with the mask that was involved with the Akatsuki, and Naruto's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's Madara. He's fucking up the world. He has a ten tails. And Naruto's like, oh, so the same exact thing I have. Good. I want to fuck him up. So he goes and he's like, okay, you just stay here, try to hold back Hinata from running to the war and all this. And, Naruto goes up to Hinata, kisses her, gives her a hug. He kisses Boruto on the forehead and then he just walks away. He runs as fast as he can towards the battle, and he arrives within a day or two, and he sees thousands of shinobi dead as the Ten Tails Obito is just flying overhead, fucking people up, and uh, Naruto's like, shit, I gotta stop him. So he goes into like Link Kurama Link mode, but for the Ten Tails, he gets a Rinnegan which Obito does have, but doesn't matter right now. So, uh, yeah, so Obito has a Rinnegan, Naruto also has a Rinnegan, but Naruto's trained with the Ten Tails for longer. Obito's only had it for a couple days. So, Naruto comes in and he immediately just fucking sends Obito flying with a single punch from through two mountains and embedded halfway through in the third. And Obito he stumbled out like, what the fuck was that? And he senses this massive chakra. He's like, wait, I know that chakra, that's the Ten Tails, but that ain't coming from me. And he realizes that this must be Naruto because Naruto's the only person that could have the Ten Tails because. So, Naruto's over here. He's like, you know what? You fucked with too many people here. I know I didn't like most of these people, but still, you don't get the right to fucking kill them all. So he runs in, drop kick. Flies in, kicking Obito through the rest of the way through the mountain and bedding him into the ground before he uses Chibaku Tensei's. Where's it? Chibaku Tensei. The meteors. So he has the meteors raining from the sky. Multiple meteors, by the way. And, this fucks Obito up even more. But, you know, um, Naruto goes and, Naruto is like, you know what, fuck you. And then he goes to kick Obito again, but Obito sidestep, but is grabbed from behind by someone. So he goes to stab them, but Naruto catches the blade, realizing who it is, and this is Hinata. And uh, Naruto punches Obito, uh, just up, just uppercut straight to the jaw, sending him flying like 15 feet in the air, and then crashing back down. And you know, Hinata is in like trash talking, because she can, because fuck Obito. And Obito suddenly teleports behind her and stabs her straight through the chest, straight through the back, it's out through the chest, and this penetrates the heart, killing her. And Naruto seeing this, he's like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" So he goes and kills Obito. He flies into a rage, punching him, kicking him, using massive Ten Tails charged Rasengans, uses the Renegade's powers to fuck him up, those immortal things, those immortal summonings, he uses those. And then in the end he's like, shit. He sees all those people dead and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna save this world. And he uses the one power that Nagato used to bring back the Hidden Leaf villagers. This also kills Naruto. Like it did Pain, but yeah. So, Naruto sacrifices himself to save everyone who died during the war, you know, because he's like that. So, sorry, I'm moving around. I was laying in my bed. So, he goes and sacrifices himself. When Hinata gets up, you know, he falls to the ground dead. And, you know, everyone mourns over the loss of their savior the same day he saved them all. Hinata and uh, Boruto mourns for the loss of, family, and Itachi mourns for the loss of pretty much another brother. And so, everyone's sad, and that is the end of this what if, and kind of not funnily, that isn't even a fucking word. Don't ask what I said there. I don't know how I screwed that up. So, that's the end. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment any what if ideas down below. And make sure to check out the subreddit, or not a subreddit. I was gonna make one soon. I'm gonna probably do that like tomorrow. But go check out the Discord, which should be in the about section. And I hope y'all had a good time, and I hope y'all are happy that I'm back. Anyway, this is Katsu saying peace.